Hey Facebook friends, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all having an amazing and super productive day so far. What does it take to set good, clear, healthy boundaries with people, especially if you're dealing with emotionally manipulative people and possibly even destructively narcissistic people? How do we set good boundaries? Well, I've got one tool, one technique in particular that I was taught many years ago that is my all-time favorite, and that's what I want to share with you today. Have a little conversation around the importance of setting healthy boundaries, even when we're dealing with difficult people, even when we're dealing with highly manipulative people, and how to go about doing that. So I'm going to share my all-time favorite technique with you and have a little chat around that. But before we get started, I'll take a quick moment to introduce myself in case we haven't met before. My name is Tamie M. I am an empowerment coach for women. I help women break free from painful relationship patterns through a proven 8-week process called the Freedom Class. And if you'd like some information on that, you can go to www.tamiemcoaching.com for information on the Freedom Class. But for the purpose of today, let's talk about boundaries. Now, before we get started, I see already we've got a whole bunch of people hopping on, so I'm going to say a quick hello. How's everyone doing? Drop me a comment, say hi, let me know where you're coming in from. And interesting, I can see on my phone that I've got a whole bunch of you on, but I can't see who it is. And for some reason, when I look here, it's not telling me who's on. So drop a little comment. I see, oh, Leslie, hey, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. And Angela Jane, how you doing? All the way from Calgary, across the city. Nice to see you, love. Thanks for hopping on. If I missed anyone, my apologies. But do me a favor. If you're catching the broadcast live, drop me a 1 in the comments. If you're catching the replay, drop me a 2. And if you're new to my live broadcast, let me know you're new. Let me know where you're coming in from so I can reach out and say hello. So boundaries, you know, the truth is, if we aren't able to set boundaries, like if we have weak boundaries and sometimes no boundaries, we're gonna pay a price. Like when boundaries are violated in relationships, there's a heavy price to pay, sometimes short term, but definitely long term. And the reality is, you know, like I often say, the vast majority of us grew up in, it's estimated 85 to 95% of us in the Western world, grew up in dysfunctional family dynamics. And a big part of what that dysfunction can look like is a lack of boundaries. The more dysfunctional the family, the more there is a lack of boundaries. And when you grow up in that fashion, you step into adulthood not having a solid sense of self, not having a clear sense of where I end and where you begin, not having any internal boundaries to insulate us from, you know, the bullshit and the nonsense that can often be coming at us, not having the ability to set boundaries around ourselves, our personal belongings, our finances, our physical body, our home, our time. The inability to set healthy boundaries in this regard can, you know, cost a lot. And many of us, like I said, step into adulthood lacking this fundamental skill for self-love and self-care. And we end up feeling very angry, very resentful, often exhausted, like we are being exploited, often being manipulated, often being abused and mistreated, being taken advantage of. And really, the burden of responsibility once we're adults falls on us. But if you don't know, you don't know, right? Like for a long time in my 20s and moving into my 30s, it was only really around the age of 30 when I started to realize that, shit, a big part of my problem is I don't have any boundaries. And I don't have any boundaries because no one in my family of origin knew what the frick a boundary was. Nobody knew what a boundary was. Nobody had any boundaries. And because I didn't have a mother and a father around to A, teach me, and B, protect me, all of these people without boundaries could do whatever they bloody well wanted with me when I was a little kid and say whatever they wanted to me when I was a little kid. And I don't share that with you, you know, in terms of like a, you know, poor me. I am well into my healing journey. I have done a lot of healing work, but I share that with you Because maybe you feel that way. I share that with you because maybe you can relate. Maybe this resonates as a challenge that is holding you back, that as a challenge that, you know, is causing you to experience a lot of unnecessary pain and suffering in your relationships. So really important topic, really, really important topic. We must learn how to set boundaries. And if we aren't really good at this, you have to look at it like exercising a muscle. Over time, it's going to get easier. Initially, it's going to be really hard, really uncomfortable, especially if you're looking to set boundaries with people who have been getting away with, you know, bloody murder your whole relationship with them, and all of a sudden it's a new day and you start setting boundaries. It's going to be uncomfortable. The reality is they're not going to like it. Some people are going to get pissed off, and actually this is a really good thing, because when you start taking care of yourself, when you start loving yourself enough to start setting boundaries, like in, you know, over time in my own healing and recovery journey, quite a long time ago now, when I started setting boundaries, never mind with friends and boyfriends, just inside of like who was left in my family of origin, really, really interesting to see the reactions, really, really interesting, you know, to see when you set a healthy boundary that is very reasonable, very reasonable. You have the right to do this, to take care of yourself. You have the right to say no without an explanation as an adult. And people react or go away in passive aggressive silence and show you just how little they care about you. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of information. So when we start taking care of ourselves and setting boundaries in big and small ways with people who are closest to us and people who are even a little further away, when we start exercising those muscles, building up those muscles, it's going to be uncomfortable, but it gets easier over time. We get stronger internally over time. The payoff will motivate us to keep doing this over time. But most importantly, it's going to separate the wheat from the chaff. Most importantly, you're going to find out who really gives a flying fuck about you and who doesn't. You're going to find out very quickly who's in it just for them, and if they can't exploit you and have their way with you, then they're going to go find someone else to do that with. And the folks who actually genuinely care about you are genuinely concerned about you and your best interests, not just their own self-serving needs and, you know, their ability to manipulate you, their ability to use you as a garbage bin, a dumping ground for their shit, all of it, all that goes on, right? The people who that's their mindset towards you are going to be over here, and the people who genuinely care about you, genuinely care about your best interest, are going to be over here. It definitely separates the wheat from the chaff. All of them might be pissed off at first. It's new behavior. It's a new day. They've been able to do whatever they want, get away with whatever they want, you know, say whatever they want to you, do whatever they want to you, use you like a personal ATM machine, like whatever it is, right? Your inability to set boundaries has, you know, set up the game the way that it is. But as you wake up, as you grow in self-care, as you grow in your ability to take care of yourself, and you start setting these boundaries, maybe everyone's pissed off. Maybe everyone's uncomfortable, but in very short order, you're going to find out who genuinely loves you and who not so much. And that's a lot of information. And then you can start taking care of yourself at a whole other level based on that information. But let's talk about my favorite technique for setting boundaries. I see we've got a whole bunch more people have hopped on. Colleen, thanks for hopping on. Nice to see you. I see Angela all the way from the UK. Welcome, welcome. Do me a favor, guys. If you're catching the broadcast live, drop me a 1 in the comments. If you're catching the replay, drop me a 2. And if you're new to my live broadcast, let me know you're new and let me know where you're coming in from so I can reach out and say hello. And if you happen to be hopping on late, be sure to go back and catch the replay so you can catch all the goods. So my favorite technique for setting healthy boundaries, very simple. 3 things you want to remember. When you, I feel, I need you to. When you, I feel, I need you to. When we're setting boundaries with anyone, really, really important that we choose our timing. We want to choose a time where we are going to be able to remain calm, grounded, centered, in so much as it's possible. Sometimes we just gotta do it on the fly, right? But in so much as it's possible, we want to choose our timing. In particular, our timing, not when we're exhausted, not when we're at the end of our rope, not when we're pulling our hair out, not when we're highly emotional and we're most likely to react and give our power away. Choose your timing so that you are more likely to stay calm, stay grounded, and not give your power away. Next, you want to keep it in the I language. You're communicating information calmly with as little emotion as possible. You're just delivering information crystal clear. When you fill in the blank, I feel, keeping it in the I language, fill in the blank. I need you to fill in the blank. What do you need? When you scream at me in front of the kids, I feel disrespected. I need you to stop doing that immediately. When you come home drunk, I feel afraid and worried. I've been worrying about you and I'm afraid. I feel afraid, I feel worried. I need you not to do that anymore. I need you to do something about your drinking problem. I need you to start going back to 12-step meetings, whatever it is. When you borrow my belongings without, I'm just riffing here off the top of my head, so go with me, guys. But when you borrow my belongings without asking permission first, I feel frustrated and angry and disrespected. I need you to ask my permission before you take my belongings, before you help yourself to my stuff. When you lie about me, I feel hurt, angry, and betrayed. I need you to stop doing that. Fill in the blanks with whatever it is you're dealing with, and you can prepare for this, especially if this is new behavior for you. Write it out. When you, I feel, I need you to. Now play with that. Fill in the blanks based on what it is that you need. Often we don't even realize that a boundary a boundary is a boundary for us until it's been violated, until it's been crossed, and then we have all of these feelings, and especially if this is a way of life for us and we've got emotionally manipulative people that we're dealing with on a regular basis, it's tough. But again, you have to remember that these are muscles that you can strengthen, that you can build up. And the when you, I feel, I need you to is a very powerful way to start exercising those muscles. You're really keeping it in the I language, expressing your feelings. If you feel it, it's true for you. If you feel it, it's true for you. Whether someone agrees with that or not is absolutely irrelevant. You need to know inside of yourself that if you feel it, it's true for you, and you have a right to your feelings, and you have a right to your needs, and you have a right to healthy boundaries, and when they're being violated and crossed, you have a right to set healthy boundaries. So it's really just a matter of exercising the muscle with practice, choosing your timing, keeping it in the I language, staying calm, delivering the information, very calm, delivering the information, and then silence. Shut up. We as untreated codependents, and even those of us who have been in treatment for a while, when we get emotionally, all riled up, or someone's pushing our buttons, as those closest to us can tend to do, right? Nobody knows how to do it better than some of the people who are closest to us. We go and we're just like, it's like verbal diarrhea, right? So we need to learn how to communicate clearly, calmly, succinctly, take care of our own feelings, manage our own feelings, do what we need to do to take care of ourselves, hold on to ourselves, and just deliver the information. When you, I feel, I need you to, and then shut the hell up. Now here's the thing about that. When you do that, you are delivering information to this individual. And this is where it comes down to separating the wheat from the chaff. Or maybe it's the other way around. Separating the wheat from the chaff, right? The highly manipulative, the destructive narcissists from the people who actually care about you and your best interest, right? So this is where we separate the wheat from the chaff, in that we have delivered the information. Now, what they do with that information is going to be a whole lot of information for you. It's going to be a whole lot of information for you. When you deliver that kind of communication, and it doesn't matter if it's the first time and it's a shock and people, you know, when you deliver appropriately, calmly, in so much as it's possible, with some compassion and care for yourself first for us, we have to fill ourselves up with that first before we have it to give to anyone else, right? We need to be concerned about our feelings more than we are about their feelings. But when we can deliver that in a calm, cool, giving you the information, buddy, with a dose of compassion and love, from a place of love, just giving you some information, what they do with that information is going to be a lot of information for you. A lot of information. Now, even those who love you and care about you and give a shit about your best interest, your psychological, you know, well-being, your emotional and spiritual and physical health, even those people might be pissed off at first. They're not used to you drawing a line in the sand and saying, no, I'm not paying your rent again this month, or no, whatever it is, I'm not coming to your rescue. No, sorry, I'm not putting up with that anymore. No, you know, they're not going to be happy when you start drawing lines in the sand, but they will come around. They will come around. Those that don't come around, we don't want them around. We don't want them around. We don't want them around. So this is a really great way to deliver the information that we need to deliver, to start setting healthy boundaries for ourselves, to take care of ourselves, and then sit back and observe, watch, pay attention, tell yourself the truth about the information. What are you seeing? How are they reacting? How are they responding to that information that you've given them? What information are they giving you in return? Pay attention to that. Tell yourself the truth about it. And then you might have some hard choices to make. But better, you should make some difficult, uncomfortable choices sooner rather than later, in your own best interest, making space for people who are healthier and have the ability to respect you and your boundaries, as opposed to exploiting you, manipulating you, depleting you, taking advantage of you, right? Better, we should know sooner rather than later if they are going to be incapable of stepping up to the new standard that you have every right to set in your life. Better, you should know. And if they aren't, then you may have to set some even more firm boundaries and firmer boundaries. On and on it goes. And some people you're just going to have to eliminate from your life altogether, like serious freaking boundaries, right? You know, what's the alternative? What's the alternative? To continue to be mistreated and abused and exploited and manipulated, or to start taking care of yourself and get yourself into a position where you can start living a happy, healthy, peaceful life? Many years ago, I started choosing the latter. I started choosing self-love, self-care, whatever it takes. I don't care who you are. I'm not putting up with that anymore. I will no longer tolerate people in my life who are projecting their unresolved garbage onto me, who are lying about me, who are lying to me, who are, exploiting me in any way, shape, or form. People who do not have the ability to exercise healthy boundaries with anybody, never mind me. Many years ago, I started making that choice for myself, and everything began to change. Everything began to change. And if you're not there yet, you can be there. You can get there. And this tool will help catapult you into a whole new dimension. I promise. Guys, I hope you got some value out of that. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to like, comment, and or share. Once again, my name is Tamie M. I am an empowerment coach for women. I help women break free from painful relationship patterns so that they can experience the love that they deserve through a proven 8-week process called the Freedom Class. And if you'd like some information on the Freedom Class, you can go to www.tamiemcoaching.com. Drop me a comment, send me a private message. We can hop on a call together and have a quick chat and see whether or not that is a program that would be a good fit for you. So go enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, friends, for hopping on. Appreciate all of you, and I'll look forward to catching up with you very soon. As always, know your value. Know your value and unlock your freedom. Mwah. Much love. Bye for now.